see the conference will propose a toast to the guests.
Yes. Yeah.
Mality. 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 Well, that's the formalities over. Not exactly, because one of the great pleasures I have is to actually start giving some thank yous, because anyone who's organised any event of this size and significant, or even listened to any acceptance speech at any awards, knows there's an enormous debt of gratitude from the front man to the team that makes it all possible. So let's start with the familiar faces of the Agenda Committee. Their hard work in shaping over 900 motions, and those 900 motions only came from Devon. Into the conference agenda cannot be underestimated. Their wise input, perceptive foresight of potential conflicts or crises, and all-round support and camaraderie has made my term as chairman a period of my life that I actually will treasure greatly. And a great thanks to Hal, Stephen, Stuart, Helena, Peter, Emmanuel and Rachel. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank my Deputy Chairman Guy, who's worked tirelessly in the background and whose counsel has helped me keep the show on the road. His mission statement was to mitigate my energy and enthusiasm and direct it away from the cliff edge. Well, not long to go to safety. Guy, I appreciate conference's ever-increasing strength over the next few years and bequeath you the inescapable tension of having to write a dinner speech. Jenny. Jenny, who is still speaking to me, which is a miracle. Your presence here looking serene is a great reassurance as I understand what you've been through. I appreciate the massive efforts you've made to accommodate a few idiosyncrasies in this evening's programme and hope you can now relax, sit down and enjoy yourself. Carly, you have been amazing. You've been wonderful to the Agenda Committee. You've contributed, acted as our lookout, spotting the rocks that we're about to crash on and navigating us round, or rather, not navigating, but suggesting we might want to navigate round them. You've been enthusiastic, perceptive, and no one should underestimate the effect you've had in this conference's success. Evita, who perversely for some reason has been brought over from Greece to bail us out. You joined us just 2 weeks after you started the job, and you have been wonderfully enthusiastic, a great fun to have around, and we really feel well supported by you. And of course, in the background, as ever, Karen and Ursula, massive deep knowledge, massive experience at running conference and running chairman, and your ability to produce enormously complex documents at the drop of the hat without too much bad language is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. I have confidence, a really wonderful team. Anyway, on with the entertainment. After Quasimodo's death, the Bishop of the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris went through the streets of Paris looking for the best ringer of bells, because he knew that they would be darling it. So he thought he'd conduct the interviews personally, and went up to the belfry to begin the screening process. After observing several applicants demonstrating their skills over a long period, he decided to call it a day and to continue the interviewing process the following day. Just then, an armless Frenchman approached him and announced that he was there to apply for the bell ringer's job. The bishop was incredulous. But you have no arms, monsieur. No matter, said the man. Observe me, Excellency. And pushing his way past the bishop, he began striking the bells with no more than his ugly face pounding in a beautiful melody on the carillon. The bishop listened in astonishment, convinced he found a sensational replacement for Quasimodo. But suddenly, as he rushed forward to strike the bell again with his face for an encore, the Frenchman tripped over a mallet, plunged headlong out of the belfry, down into his death in the streets below. Sorry, I wanted something upbeat, but I couldn't find it. The Sam Bishop rushed down 297 steps to reach the street. A crowd had gathered around the fallen figure, drawn by the beautiful music they'd heard from the bells. As they silently parted to let the bishop through, one of them asked the bishop, "Who was this man?" "I don't know," the bishop replies. "But his face rings a bell." There's more. The following day, despite the sadness that weighed heavily on his heart, due to the unfortunate death of his man, the bishop said, "The search must go on." And he had another man knock on the door, and a man approached him and said, "I am the brother of the poor, armless wretch who fell to his death yesterday. I promise to honour his life by giving you the best bell ringing you ever heard." The bishop agreed to give him an audition, but as the armless man's brother bent down to pick the mallet, to ring the first bell, lifting it back, his other arm went to his chest in that familiar pattern that we know represents an acute myocardial infarction. He fell down on the spot, dead. 2 months, hearing the bishop's cries of anguish, the second tragedy, rushed out. "What's happened? Who is this man?" the first monk asked breathlessly. "I don't know his name," sighed the now distraught bishop, "but he's a dead ringer for his brother." After 20 years of conference, and in my memory a few Adam Skinner-like escapades on the podium, I was reminded of the old counterfeit watches of years ago. I can look back on the warmth of my colleagues and their tolerance and support. Yet it's taken me this length of time and trust in you all, and my relationship with you all, to brave the thought of unleashing a singing voice that has been described as having the ability to reduce grown men to tears. On my last conference dinner speech, ladies and gentlemen, a song.
It's getting worse.
The Tory model of a general practitioner, a CQC inspector, a CCG commissioner, and drawing all models of care anticipatory, a regular participant in bodies regulatory. Reducing costs of medicine, I tend to have a passion in. Likewise, referral management, I love the feel of rationing. And chewing up those targets, and one by one I'm splitting off. I'm totally disparaging of all of those not hitting quaff. Whenever I hear this songs around, I try and grab them if I can. I put it down from off the shelf, a predetermined business plan. By bidding where there's any cash or finance on a missioner, I am a Tory model of a general practitioner. venture, I go about discovering those who hide dementia. They replies I do despise, they're totally regretful. With CD6 I'll soon transfix, you'll really quite forgetful. I Skype, I tweet, I Facebook, I am quite cybermanic. The patients who do likewise are also prone to panic. To handle their inflamed concerns, we need to train our forces and send them all on pointless and mandatory courses. Then that leaves the patient, though they employ my frolics, the drudgery of seeing them at rather than the colleagues. They're really too demeaning to adopt my position. After all, I am the Tory novel and the general practitioner. Ladies and gentlemen, a toast to the guests of conference. Please raise your glasses to the guests of conference. Thank you very much.